Welcome to Frog Talk, an Auction Frogs podcast series all about events and fundraising in a post-2020 world. For more information on Auction Frogs and the services we offer, visit auctionfrogs.org today.
Hi, this is Corey Michaels along with Kayla Farringer, and this is Frog Talk. And today we're going to be talking about a word that I know most nonprofits have heard in this last year, but not a word we've heard before, and that's hybrid. We learned through all of everything and all the virtual events last year and having to happen that we got a further reach. There was more money coming in. So now that we can have people together again, hybrid is the big word. But what exactly is a hybrid event?
There's a lot of different models and different ways that you can have a hybrid event. And the team at Auction Frogs has spent a lot of time discussing that, what it would look like, how it would function and feel for guests, and how to really maximize things for the nonprofits. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do it, is kind of what we ended up realizing. There's a lot of different methods, but there's one in particular that we really like. And I keep trying to think of a catchy name for it. There isn't one. It's just the preferred or the recommended method that we've been talking to a lot of clients about as we head into what is looking like a hybrid heavy, fundraising season this fall. So basically you have your in-person event, you bring together however many people you can at a venue.
Make sure no matter what state you're in, county you're in, city you're in, that you are up to date with how many people you can gather.
Yes, exactly. Because that'll affect your ticket sales, affect your budgeting, things like that. So once you have that sorted out, you'll actually do the silent auction as an online auction. And what that does is it allows the people that are in the room with you that night to participate on their mobile devices. A great thing to do for the in-person event is to utilize QR codes to take people very easily to that silent auction online. But it also allows people at home to participate. Bidding on items, they can make donations through the online auction site. You could even put buy it nows on there if you want to sell t-shirts or gift cards or things like that. So that is like the first sort of main piece of this hybrid event. You've got your in-person and all the people at home that are all participating in this silent auction online. You can choose whether you want that silent auction to extend beyond the date of the event. Sometimes that works really well because the people that are at the gala and maybe see those items in person are like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep bidding this up, through the weekend to make sure I win it,
Well, and whether it's just a solid virtual event, hybrid event, a online auction, whatever it is, that is a common thing that I recommend and that we all do here, is to start it before the event, to keep it going after the event, keep that momentum going up to your bid wars or however you have it set up for yours. And so again, it's all about maximizing the revenue that's coming in for your organization, period. Yeah.
You've got the added benefit of engaging both audiences, but also being able to open up that bidding time frame. So we're already like, okay, a hybrid event. Awesome. This is looking great. And then I think, and this is the biggest thing that I think people are curious about, maybe worried about, is the video broadcast, live auction, paddle raise portion. How do we bring those two groups together?
Right.
You can bring them together. If you want to have simultaneous bidding with people at home and people in the room, you can do that. If you want people to be able to donate from home and in the room, you can do that. However, what we've been discussing a lot, particularly around the live auction, is if a guest can stay home and not pay for a ticket and still bid on all of these really great live auction items, then why would they buy a ticket?
Because they want that social interaction. People are going to want to get out. I think more and more, there's going to be some people that are not going to want to gather in any big way, maybe forever. Maybe it's still going to be some more time and the world kind of settling down a little bit more. But people still were social creatures by nature. And so when maybe once a year is when you see some of these other donors and friends and sponsors and and people within the organization. And for you, that's a lot of your FaceTime with your donor base is at those galas.
The ideal pathway for a hybrid event is actually to leave those live auction items as an exclusive for ticket holders. It incentivizes ticket purchases, creates this really exclusive group of auction items for only those people in the room. Now, does that mean that you can't offer pre-bidding for people who just really cannot come? No, you can certainly do that, or even absentee bidding, right? But evening that playing field, it's only paddles up in the room. But then for the live auction items, but then having a program that brings people in for the paddle raise, some kind of pre-recorded broadcasted program, and then you can have paddles raised in the room for your fund to need, but also donations coming in online for a fund to need. And that seems to be the ideal route. That's what's working. That's what is appealing to people as we talk to nonprofits. So, summarizing all of that, it's a silent auction as an online auction, and then a 30 to 45 minute pre-recorded broadcast that plays during the live auction for your at-home guests, and then cuts to a live broadcast of the fund to need at your event to close out the night for both your in-person and your at-home guests.
Well, and here is, one of the hybrid events, and the first one that we did last year was with Special Olympics. And we learned a lot by doing that. I mean, the one thing absolutely we did know, like Kayla was talking about, I don't think anyone at home wants to sit there and watch people go to the buffet line and grab drinks and chat with one another. They're not going to watch that. But with the Special Olympics, we did a half hour, which was a virtual event, just pre-recorded, but looked like if we were doing a live virtual event for them. And it had their videos, and we were able to tell their story and do the narrative and do all the exciting stuff virtually that we would do with a virtual event, and then cut to the simulcast there in the O'Connor Fieldhouse over in Caldwell. Now, what we learned for us, and again, as Kayla said, you can do live bidding at home and there, and we had that, so that after that half-hour program, then it transitioned into the live auction, the paddle raise, all of that. So our recommendation is going a little bit further, getting past the live auction with that virtual piece for the folks at home, get all that excitement out, and when it comes time for the paddle raise and the fund to need, then that's when we do the transition over together. You're still able to do your mobile bidding. You're also able to, donate that $100, that $500, $25, whatever it happens to be, the same with the folks there at home. And so you're able to get the best of both worlds. I think, going to be a beautiful model for folks moving forward. But yeah, we have through, trial and error, but that was still a successful event. They had raised more than they had raised before. And we just learned little ways, though, to tweak that so that we can continue to always make this experience better and better for you.
Like you said, a lot of all of last year really was trial and error for everybody.
Yes.
But we have learned a lot, and I really encourage anyone out there that's thinking about a hybrid event to almost more so than last year, really let go of what we used to do, right? What the traditional model used to look like for galas, because hybrid is not going to look like that. Even though you have people back in the room with you, it's still going to function very differently because of what we've learned and because of kind of the new comfort zone that has been developed through the pandemic. And so don't get attached to going back to normal, because normal looks vastly different than it did before.
And it will continue to look different before we're done.
Exactly. And don't get hung up on, really don't get hung up on any piece of it, because it's going to have to flip flop and change based on your venue. If your venue doesn't have good internet connection, the simulcast may not be possible. If your online bidders want to participate in the live auction but don't want to attend, you're going to have to kind of troubleshoot and figure out exactly what's going to work for you, for your circumstances, for your demographics. So you just have to really let go of all preconceived notions, preconceived ideas, and especially with our team, just brainstorm with us. We have a lot of experience between us, but we also are constantly just like throwing ideas at the wall. What do they say? Like throw the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. And we've come up with some really cool things working with clients, and we've gotten great ideas from clients. So that relationship can be very fruitful, and it just helps to come in with a completely open mind.
And that's the biggest thing. As Kayla was saying, just clear all the thoughts of what was, and just be open to what can be. And trust me, we're here to guide you. You're not going to be out on your own. You have a full team here with we figured it out 100 some odd years combined of fundraising experience.
Yeah.
We've been through. We're doing the spaghetti on the wall stuff, so you don't have to. And every event is going to be different. It's going to take on the personality of the nonprofit. So same as even before every gala. Yeah, there are certain aspects that were the same from gala to gala. But everyone had their personality that went along with the nonprofit and the donor base. Same with this. Don't worry about it. Just get a hold of one of our auction engineers, get a hold of Kayla, or heck, get a hold of me. And let's sit down and let's chat about it, about what it can look like for you.
Yeah. And the other thing, I wanted to make sure I mentioned was, whenever I have a conversation with a nonprofit about hybrid, one of the number one concerns, there's lots of concerns. People are, there's a lot to think about. But one thing that people ask me a lot is it's going to be too expensive, right? It's going to be, the cost is going to be enormous. We're never going to be able to afford it. And that's not necessarily true. And I don't think anyone out there, and regardless of your size, your budget, your fundraising goal, should count themselves out of a hybrid event just because of cost. Right. Because it doesn't have to be expensive. There is added cost to maybe what you're used to paying, maybe kind of, but especially here at Auction Frogs, we're very aware of that. That there's budget constraints, that people are very budget conscious, especially now, probably more than the last several years. And so we are doing everything we can, partnering with venues, crunching numbers and things like that to try to make it affordable. So don't count yourself out just because of cost. Ask the questions, do some discovery with us, with the venue, with your team, to see if you can make it possible. Because even though, yes, hybrid could be more expensive, it doesn't have to be. And another thing to consider with cost is that the sponsorship opportunities at a hybrid event are literally double, right?
Yes.
I mean, people pay $500, $5,000 to have signage and mention at a gala event. And when you compound that with an online auction and a hybrid virtual component of some kind, you're giving them even more bang for their buck. So you may have an opportunity to get more from your sponsors, to get more like a larger number of sponsors.
Right.
So again, that it's not cost prohibitive. There are ways to make it work. So don't count yourself out too quickly.
And again, what we learned with the virtual events last year was there was such a great reach out to people. So really the money that has come in, I would say 90% of the virtual events was more than they had raised at their galas in the years past. So when you think about that and where the money's coming from there, and then you've got that in person, but is it right for you? Maybe, probably, could be. But that's why just get a hold of us, because we'll sit down with you and we'll go over, okay, is it going to be a hybrid? Is it going to be a virtual event that's right for you? Is it just a straight gala? Because really, maybe you're not worried about reaching outside of your area of influence for your nonprofit. So we want to tailor this to you. It's not a cookie cutter deal, like Kayla was saying. Every single client has that experience to be able to say, we're not saying, hey, do this, It's going down this journey with you hand in hand, and we become a part of your team.
And that's why we love our jobs, honestly.
Yeah.
That's what I love about my job, getting to work with so many different organizations, discover causes that I never knew about, working with people all over the country. We love that. We live on that and thrive on that. So, definitely ask us those questions and let us help you, because that's what we want to do. We love to do it.
Yep. And we're here for you. All of the contact is in the description. And we look forward to talking to you soon about your hybrid events or any of your fundraising needs.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Frog Talk, an Auction Frogs podcast series all about events and fundraising in a post-2020 world. For more information on Auction Frogs and the services we offer, visit auctionfrogs.org today.